Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is a Toyota CHR that I'm going to show you how to do the rear brakes. But before we can do that, we need to set the EPB, electronic parking brake, into 0 position. The way you do that is you turn the key to position 2 and you press the brake pedal, and what you do is you go with this parking brake button 3 times up, 1, 2, 3, and then you go 3 times down, 1, 2, 3. One more time. On the 4th time you press the parking brake button here, and then you release your foot off the brake. Press the brake pedal, and we're gonna do it 3 times up, 3 times down, and then 4th time, and you hold it, and you're gonna see how this is gonna start blinking. And now we can hear the parking brake retracting all the way to 0. This is how it's supposed to be done. That's how you put it in reset mode. Next thing is we go and replace the rear brakes. So this is how you set it up, and it's right now it's in standby mode, and we can shut off the car now. It's still going to be left here, and what we need to do now is we're going to need to change the brakes at this point, and that's the next thing. So at this point, guys, the parking brake is at 0 here. It is recommended that you disconnect the actual electric plug to the parking brake system, because you don't want this accidentally to come on and smash your fingers in here. So what you do is you get in here. The easiest thing I do to actually bring back the pistons to normal position, the mechanical piston, the hydraulic piston actually, I'll just put a screwdriver in here between the piston and the brake pads, and I'll just push it back to get it back to normal place where it's supposed to be, so I can replace these brakes. Of course, you can do that with the tools that once you get this piston out, you can do that with the you can actually do that with the tools that where you compress this back to 0 position. But this is also very easy way that I do, and as you can see, the piston is back to where it's supposed to be, right there. That's where it's supposed. The piston is back to 0. The brake pads are here. They're very, very worn out, so we're replacing the pads and the rotors. So let's go and release these. We're gonna have 2 14s back here, 1 down here, 1 up here, 2 14s, and then we're gonna have these 17s back to release the brackets out. Okay, 14mm on the bolts. Okay, they're spinning, therefore you're gonna have to use a 17mm wrench to stop the bolt from spinning. If your wrench is fat like mine, you're gonna need to use a wrench that's kind of thinner here, or you can use vice grips also. But I managed to kind of lock him so they came out. Here's the 2 bolts. They came out, and it somewhere on the side for now, right here. And these brakes are in really bad shape. Actually, the other driver's side is destroyed. This is metal to metal, as you can see. So and in the back, like I showed you, we need to get to these 2/17, one here and the upper one is here. So these two, in order to release the bracket. Okay, the caliper bracket is out. I'm gonna need to do re-lubrication of the two bolts holding this in a minute. Okay guys, there's two ways of taking this rotor out of the car, because as you can see, I can see the rust where it has literally welded to the disc rotor to the hub. So there's two ways. Again, you can use a hammer and hit right these sides. You just got to be careful when you hit, so you don't hit the studs for the wheel locks, the wheel nuts. Or there's another way. If you see these two holes, you need to find the specific bolt that goes in here, which I already have from the front, because I was doing the front brakes earlier, and this bolt fits perfectly here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just spin I'm gonna spin the bolt inside, and once I spin it, it's gonna push the rotor out of its space. There we go. Just need a little bit of a nudge, and of course I need to get my bolt back. I mean, that's a fairly easy way. I don't know what the size of this thing is. It looks like a that's a 13 head. That's what the bolt looks like. It's a 13mm head. The threads looks like an M8 to 1 or maybe 1.25, something in that range. So the rotor is out. And always make sure to compare the rotors with your old one, just to make sure that you got the correct size. And I need to get the brake cleaner, because we need to clean the rotor before installation. Just before you install this, make sure you clean this rotor on the inside, because they usually have a protective coat of kind of oilish residue. And you clean this side. And now we're gonna install the bracket in. Okay guys, I installed one of the lug nut bolts so that this doesn't move left and right. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna install this bracket back, and then I'm gonna need to lubricate the self-locking nuts, or guide pins is what they're called also. And And I'm gonna get these tight. Okay. Okay. And now the most ignored part of this brake job is when you have these self-floating calipers, is this guide pins where you need to clean them. You need to install grease in them. And the way you do this, you take this out, you clean this pin and install new grease, and you install it back in the chamber. And same thing for the bottom side. Take them out, clean them, and install it back in there. Again, don't forget to do that. Okay guys, again, don't forget to lubricate these and check if they're moving freely. They should be okay. That's where they're supposed to be. And a very important thing now is before we install the new brake pads, we need to change these shims. Usually this clip here is on the outside here. It's on the outside part. That's how you need to look at these. Okay, so this here, this is on the outside. Remember, you're gonna have upper and lower one, and make sure that the clips are on the same front part, like here. I'm gonna have two in the back, so one. Okay, so I need the two where they're on the inside. Well, I'm gonna need one that's on the top and the inside, and the bottom inside. Make sure, because they have this specific direction, and always the spring needs to be on the inside part. Okay, and now we get the brake pad, and we need to install a couple clips on the brake pads. In our case, we have, how many do we have here? This should be in the package with your new brakes. And yeah, we have 4 of these small ones. So these small ones, they go on the top and bottom part of the brake pads, and they need to be on the outside where this little lock is. The little lock right here is the lock on this side right here. So this is how they lock. And install this by starting with the inside part first, and then you push in inside part first at an angle, and then you push and actually, sorry, mistake, you can only use one of these. It's not 4 because we have only 4 of these, so you need to take one of these out and only use on the top part. That's where I use these clips, just on the top part. Came out. Here we go. And we're gonna use one on the internal brake pad, which would be this one here, and it would be like this. Because we only have 4 of these, we're gonna use only one on the top. And here, same way, you start with the bottom side first, and you push it in, and that's it. You always check after yourself to make sure that they're inside. And last part, or next part, is starting the brake caliper back in. The 14 millimeters back. And try to see. So if you guys do this quickly, the 14 millimeters, they should be able to walk, but of course doesn't always happen. Need to try to walk them because they're spinning in there, and the problem is when you walk them, if you have the wrong wrench in there, you're not going to be able to get the wrench out. So okay, here we go. I just don't have vice grips with me right now, but you can do white vice grips in order to do these right. Or okay, it's a real tight space, but okay, let me double check. Yeah, everything is fine. So these are good. Remember, we have to plug in don't forget to plug in back the EPB, the electronic parking brake. Simply click it in. And last thing that you got to do is when you go inside the car, you release the parking brake off the service mode, and then the calipers or the parking brake pistons will start unwinding all the way to the maximum position where it's supposed to be. And we're back inside the vehicle. It's Toyota CHR. We're gonna turn the key on and we're gonna slowly press the brake a few times to push the pistons back to where they're supposed to be in the back. And once you feel that the pedal is strong and hard, you're gonna leave it here. And next what we're gonna do is, while keep pressing the pedal there, we're gonna go down here to the button, parking brake button. We're gonna press, or we're gonna pull 3 times up, and on the 4th time we're gonna hold it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold while pressing the brake pedal. Here we go. We can hear the parking brake rewinding. And this is where it is. It went back all the way, compressing the brake pads, and we can try it just to see if it works. Here we go. It looks like everything is fine. Then we're going to release it down. Well, we need to press the brake pedal in order to release it. And parking brake's working perfect, so everything is fine. And that was the procedure of replacing the rear pads, rear rotors, rear brakes on this Toyota CHR. And I hope to see you in my next videos. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons, because your support helps me to run this channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Good luck.